On Christmas Eve, 2002, the quiet town of Modesto, California, was forever changed. Laci Peterson, a 27-year-old wife and expectant mother, vanished without a trace. Her disappearance triggered one of the most infamous and highly publicized murder cases in U.S. history. Laci had been 8 months pregnant with her first child, a boy she and her husband Scott had planned to name Connor. That morning, Laci was supposed to run errands and prepare for the holiday dinner. Scott later claimed he left the house around 9:30 a.m. to go fishing at the Berkeley Marina, nearly 90 miles away, while Laci stayed home. When Scott returned later that day, he found the house eerily quiet. Laci was gone. Her family and friends immediately raised the alarm. Laci's purse, keys, and phone were still inside the house, signs that she hadn't simply walked away. Within hours, the search began. Hundreds of volunteers scoured fields, rivers, and neighborhoods. Flyers with Laci's photo appeared everywhere, and the media quickly descended on Modesto. The story of the missing pregnant woman gripped the nation. But as the days turned into weeks, suspicion shifted towards Scott Peterson. At first, he appeared as the concerned husband, making television appeals for Laci's safe return. Yet his behavior raised eyebrows. Instead of showing visible grief or desperation, Scott often appeared calm, detached, even rehearsed. Investigators soon discovered that Scott had been having an affair with a woman named Amber Frey. She came forward, revealing that Scott had told her he was a widower, weeks before Laci disappeared. The revelation shattered public trust in Scott. To many, it seemed clear that he had been preparing for a new life, free from his responsibilities as a husband and father. Meanwhile, police gathered circumstantial evidence. Scott's fishing alibi placed him near the very location where Laci's body and that of baby Connor would later be found. In April 2003, 4 months after she went missing, their remains washed ashore in San Francisco Bay. The discovery confirmed the worst fears of Laci's family and sent shockwaves across the country. Soon after, Scott was arrested and charged with first-degree murder of his wife and second-degree murder of their unborn son. His trial, which began in 2004, became a media spectacle. The prosecution painted him as a man who saw his wife and child as obstacles to the affair and freedom he desired. They highlighted his lies, his affair, and his suspicious fishing trip as proof of motive and opportunity. The defense argued that the evidence was circumstantial and that police had rushed to judgment. But the emotional weight of the case, combined with the affair, proved too heavy to overcome. In November 2004, Scott Peterson was convicted on both counts and sentenced to death. The case sparked fierce debates about the death penalty, media influence on trials, and how circumstantial evidence can be enough to convict. For nearly 2 decades, Scott sat on death row at San Quentin State Prison. In 2020, California's Supreme Court overturned his death sentence due to juror errors during jury selection, but his conviction still stands. He now serves life in prison without parole. To this day, the murder of Laci Peterson remains one of the most infamous cases in American true crime history. It exposed the hidden darkness behind a seemingly normal suburban marriage, leaving a community shattered and a family forever grieving the loss of a daughter, a sister, and a grandson who never had a chance to live.